My microphone wasn't on. I don't think. We're doing quick draft. I don't know how much of the audio recorded, or if it recorded at all. But this is game one. Our opponent is out of cards, and we're actually okay. So I feel like we might be decent. They're stunning our Jin. Stun counters are a little weird. I think they're pretty decent. They're not decent against Jin though, right? Because he can exile himself. So we have 2 ward creatures. We have 1 flying creature. The flying creature is probably the most EV, right? They're still able to attack through us thanks to Haunting Figment, which is an illusion, but it's not going to sacrifice itself, which is immersion breaking. Draw then discard? They probably won't. So the Jin we can just fix. The issue is we can attack through the 5. The 0/5. So every time we swing in with this guy, he's just not a blocker. Which, in theory, he could block something if the filament ever gets stopped, right? There goes a wall. What's the last card in hand? Like, we have a bigger board than them. Like, we could take something out with this. We get a twofer. Pretty decent. Like, our turn is basically just, can we overpower the defense? And we are rapidly approaching the point where we are just killing the defense. These blocks are pretty good for us. Our opponent is doing okay. Yeah, we win. It's a good game one. So we won that one because we just had slightly better creatures, I think. It's the 5 power that got us there in the end. They actually had a Brazil sleeve, which is kind of nice. There were a couple of country sleeves on sale like a year and a half ago, and I did buy one. It's just no longer usable. Like I still technically could put it as my sleeve, but yeah, it's just not that good anymore. And they declined. I'll offer the trade. Because I think the Elish Ikor has more value over the course of the game than the Lore Master. Like, the Lore Master dies, but we've actually gotten rid of a creature that's difficult to deal with. And thanks to Menace, this guy can... I guess this gal can always attack in. Never noticed that. Let's get a 2 for here. It's a very suspicious attack, I'll give you that much, opponent. I might just want to pump it, you know? Yeah, that was a good deal. 1 for 2. Let's get a Rager going. Another Mass. And then we'll swing in for 2. So if they attack, we can double block. They can only kill 1. Actually, they can attack. They can kill both. We're still going to attack in with this. Because they have to double block and we can kill the knight. And if they don't, we can just Etrati on their turn. And solve all of our problems that way. It doesn't solve all of our problems, but it solves some of our problems, right? I guess I let that go. I would like the situation to end with them not having a Withering Math and me having a Withering Math. So... next turn we can attack in. With a foolish dream, I guess. Hey, but our other Withering Mask gets cheaper. Dude, how many removal spells do you have? I've seen 3 so far. We're doing okay, though. They have another removal spell in hand. That is hilarious. They're hovering the Frost Giant. They could kill him, but it's going to cost more than it would normally. Oh my god, that's like a board wrath almost. Let's get our Jin up in the air. Attacking with our Giant. So they do have another removal spell. Like I thought the Jin might just eat it, but they might just be my god, all in, huh? I can approve. Swinging for 5. Hold up the battle rage. I guess I don't think that battle rage is a decent removal spell. Yeah, I don't really want to land. We're doing good. Don't do it, friend. Well, this is gonna be embarrassing. Well, that was game 2. I feel kind of bad about that one. Not that there's something we should feel bad for, but we baited that opponent pretty hard sometimes. Like, in all technicality, he shouldn't... I don't really want to say what he shouldn't or should have done. I think it's hard to play Magic, and sometimes you make mistakes, and sometimes you gotta just take the chance that we don't have it, right? But we did have it, unfortunately. We had it 3 times in that game. Like, our Death Touch spell got 2 creatures with its first casting. It got another free creature with its second casting, and then our Impulse got something. Like, that's some mad value. You know, in a lot of my early drafts, I came across this situation in reverse where it's the bronze player versus the silver player. And it's almost never fun, but we're going to go with the Menace creature because the Menace creature will be able to do 2 damage next turn. We'll have the Goblin on defense. Actually, I think I'm going to go Rager since I didn't play anything. We need a blue source, basically. Our Academy Lore Master is not gonna be cast without 2 of those. Then we have a Tratty on 3. Or on 4. Like, we might just tempo this game. Neat. Yeah, we're quickly approaching a win. If we draw another blue land, it's gonna be real good. Because next turn they're not gonna have anything to block us. Well, they did manage to get a blocker. That's neat. Go away, Tatyova. I think you're dead. Yeah. Well, this is game 3. I am very sorry for Unpoor. You played good Magic. I don't blame you. I blame Wizards' terrible matchmaking system. Because they're doing it off of who's playing at the moment, right? Because these are paid events, right? So you have a limited number of players you can actually select from. And when you have been waiting in a queue for too long, they'll match you up against your player. Like, it doesn't matter what rank they are, they'll match you against a player. Which is good, because it means that you don't have a lot of downtime. It has certainly helped me out in my games, right? Because it means there's less downtime between games, but at the same time, it also creates those feel bad situations where I spent 5k gold on a match, and I think we need a Lore Master, because then we can Lore Master hold up Blessing. Or do we just go Shieldred? Like, we are behind in life, so we have to try to stabilize somehow. Shieldred is a good stabilization agent. Yeah, but the matchmaker, I feel like there's some way to improve it. I don't have any concrete feedback on how to improve it, so it's really just more belly aching about something that can't really be changed, but they're gonna make me discard 2 cards. They did not kick it though, so I think I'm gonna discard Lore Master Swamp. Like, Terror is the only thing we have that can actually get through the wall. So we have a Rager. If Rager draws us a land, we can hold up Blessing. What are you doing with 1 black mana? Cut to ribbons? Okay, well, we didn't draw it. We are slowly bleeding out, right? Because that fly is up in the sky. And he's causing us to die. But it's going to be 14 more turns before he actually gets the job done. So next turn I'm going to be casting spells. Because I can't sit on... What do you have that has 7 power? Or are you based off of... You're based off of mana value. That's why. Well, this is actually okay. So we're going to Impulse. The opponent loses a life. Get another spell? I guess get another spell. Right, because we're going to Battle Rage whatever we put in front of the War Leech. So it looks like we gotta put the Rager in front of the War Leech. So we go like this. Let's bless our Rager. Opponent loses a life. We gain Death Touch and Indestructible. The War Leech dies. The Splatter Goblin dies. The Splatter Goblin minuses a creature, which it should, to get the most value, it'll minus our creature, which will then minus their creature back. This was a confusing but enjoyable line, I will say. So we only go another Splatter Goblin. And then we'll lose 2 life. Make our opponent lose a life. Draw land. We still can't attack through because of the Academy Wall. But our Tolarian guy is quite small these days. What's up with Wizards putting 2 mana +1/+1 on creatures? It's not right, I tell you. We do have a flyer now. No block. The Rager and the Goblin can jump in front of the mass and kill it. And the Djinn, it can block the apparition. Like next time we can start attacking through. I think Iskiel Null is going to be the first guy that kills us. Sack it, return something. It's the only thing you can do at instant speed. Like, you can get us done. There are options, but they're not great. So they can't really benefit off the Academy Walls either. Because you need a card in hand to benefit off them. It's card selection, not card advantage. I don't know if they'll block here. They don't really need to. This might still kill it. I think it still does kill it. And so we're actually pretty well off. Yeah, I was under the impression that this was supposed to go worse for us. Or it's not supposed to go this well. Gonna sack. So if they sack it, they have to use it this turn. That is something I know from my own attempts to use him in Standard. Like, we're actually turning this around, which is startling. The wall doesn't deal any damage. It can't use Death Touch. I mean, it can block, right? It stays alive. But then you have to deal with the Djinn, like this turn, or die. And if you sacrifice Vo here, one of my other two creatures will get through. It's bad news for them. I didn't intend for it to be so bad news. My general experience with Dominaria United draft has not been this positive. I think you're quite dead, friend. You can stun him all you like. It doesn't really work on him. And you have to deal with the other things. I guess if they sacrifice Volkir here, and then stun one of my other creatures, they technically get a turn. They don't, though, do they? Yeah, because these two are still going to untap. And 4 damage is enough. Look at them, keeping their creature alive. I'm actually kind of... That was noble. I'm impressed. Silver tier 1. I have good memories of the silver tier. I do not remember him being as OP though as like Black Knight Teach, but it's a different game, I guess. I guess my problem in Souls games and why the silver tier wasn't very useful for me is that I just don't really invest in Vigor that much. Like, I've seen a lot of Elden Ring builds around, and like you see 30, 40, 50, even 60 Vigor in some extreme cases, and it's like, I don't know if I got past 30. But like when you're a mage or you're a cleric, you're putting all your stats into intelligence or faith, so yeah, I guess we'll keep this. Shieldred does... She's a good card, but she seems uncastable, unfortunately. One thing that I like about Academy Lore Master is if you can't do anything, you can pretend like you want to draw a card. Like, you have no 2-drops. There's no reason not to. You're not legendary. Yeah, I'll draw another card. You can attack through, but... Man, our opponent is swimming in cards, though. They're just gonna play defenders, so we're fine. What do you know? I don't have a 4-drop. I do have a 5-drop, so we'll be able to do things next turn. You know, For a moment I thought they might be missing land drops. Yeah, no block. We'll decline this time. Tap that down. See if we can draw a card the old-fashioned way. I guess not. Do they have a combat trick? I wonder if they do. They do. It costs 2 mana and gives a creature indestructible and death touch. Oh. Color me impressed to shore up. We're gonna have to stop blocking here. How are they so good off on cards? Like, well, I guess they've been drawing cards, right? It's just rude. Oh, we've caught up on life total. I still don't like our position because we are so far behind on card advantage. Yeah, I'll take 3. Green. Well, if they do it to us, we'll just do it back. They didn't have it. I was worried for nothing. They didn't have it. It's crazy. Why wouldn't they have it? They have a counterspell, right? Impulse. Okay, not a counterspell. What do they have? They discarded a Jin. And Jin's really good. What could they have that they would want over a Jin? I don't know. I guess having So if we attack in here, it's still to our advantage. I think we just ran out of steam. No block. I got life to spare. But I don't have anything to do. Asunder. We'll hold our island. Pretend like we actually have something. We don't have any looting, so we're not going to get any value out of it that way, but we're dead anyway, so. Yeah. Well, there's our first loss. I don't feel bad. We were up against a gold player. I'm not limited in one of those environments where it's a pay-to-play format, right? So the people who have played a lot of limited and who are like at gold, but I guess you don't really have to pay that much. Like if you're good enough at the format, you can actually do it without paying any real money, because you can. The 7 wins for quick draft is enough to enter another quick draft. So we don't want to judge prematurely, but generally the higher rank somebody is in limited, the more they've played of it, right? That much we can say reasonably without having any kind of context attached to it. Like, we play limited casually. Like, these days we're using it to get gems, but we're going to hold back our goblin. We may get some value out of him if we do. Rude. Yeah. Impulse for a land. Pass a turn. I feel our second loss. I guess we kept it a bad hand. It doesn't feel that bad. Yeah, they could just cast a 6-drop. And I think playing Academy Lore Master at this point in the game just hurts us. Like, the optional Howling line is a bit rough. One of the weird synergies that I was thinking about with this card is with, it's 4 mana. You look at the number of cards equal to the mana value spent on it, and then you choose 2 cards from among them. Like, if you have Academy of Lore Master and it's your turn, you can actually pay 6 for it on its first cast during your turn. So you get to look 2 more cards deep, and then if you flash it back, you're casting it for 9. So you're looking at the top 9 cards and choosing any 2 you want. Like, that could be powerful, but I think it's too expensive, right? Let's deal 4 damage. Like, I like where we're at now. I feel as though a hand with 3 battle rage blessings is probably good enough. The Lore Master can go away. She's not going to save the day. Swing out. They have a trick, I think. So we actually have the higher mana, higher damage value in the board and higher life total. That's good. Those are good things. Well, shucks. I really shouldn't talk, should I? But, you know, if a strategy doesn't work, just double down. Just double down. Do you think I have another battle blessing? I might. Who knows? Same trick twice. So I'd like to destroy the flyer and block the monstrous leech, but that option failed when we killed the thing, right? You got my third battle blessing. I think we swing in, get rid of a trotty, deal 3 damage, 7 damage. Because, like, they will have to block at some point. Although they'll have to block in a disadvantageous way at some point. Assuming they have nothing to do, right? They might just have 2 more creatures in hand and they'll be fine. These draft videos are always long. We're approaching an hour and I don't know, man. Oh, we're dead. The Weather Shroud Treaty. Weather Seed Treaty just got us. Domain for the victory. I can respect that, actually. 1 more loss, and we're done. We have 4 victories, which is respectable for me. I'm proud of that. Some of our victories were a bit brutal for my taste. Like, I like winning at Magic, but I like doing it in like a back and forth, you know? Like in a chess game. So we got Goblin and we got Impulse. I like this. Goblin is good for dying. Withering Math likes things that die. Impulse can get us something cool. All good things. All good things. There we go, Goblin. Slider Goblin is sneakily good for a 2-mana creature. We'll Impulse on their end step. That way we know what we're looking for. It's a clock. Guess we're gonna get card draw. Yeah, you got me. I don't have anything. So you're gonna put 1 on top. So we're actually gonna block down the Clockwork. Okay, they didn't have enough mana, that's why. I was wondering why they didn't get the option to tap us down, but I guess one mana tap would be too good, actually, to be of any real purpose. Next turn, Jin can come down. Jin is pretty good. Or we could Abomination Impulse. It depends on what they play, right? They're looking a little mana screwed, which is not great. I think they have a creature counterspell. So we put the Djinn in front of it. Goodbye, Djinn. We have two of them, so she is replaceable. Or he? I don't know. Do Djinns have a gender? They might. They very well might. So we're ahead on board, but we sacrificed our card advantage lead to get there. We still have more lands than our opponent, though, so we are ahead in some metric. I want a Battle Rage. Give me Battle Rage Impulse. Rude. I'll take a Trotty instead. We'll just pass the turn then. Just pass the turn. What's the award looking like on you? 2? Weird, I have 6 mana. Do they have another creature counterspell? That was something that I should have been worried about that I wasn't. Because you can't really run that many of them. Yeah, you got me. I'll take 5. Out of blue mana now, though. Yeah, it looks like we're going down to 6. Like, if they don't draw into anything either, we're fine. Is this really the time to be phasing out your own creatures? I don't think it is. Another permanent? So they could phase out the Clockwork Drawbridge. Why would they do that, though? They're going to go to 1. Yeah, I didn't understand that much. But I think they were... Can't phase in. So it would have phased in at the beginning of their next turn. Which meant we had 2 zombies that were going to kill them. Okay. Yeah, no, they were right. There was a punt there. Yeah, so you have to get up to 6 wins to actually recoup your 750 gem entry. So you actually have to be pretty decent at draft to get um, to get into the loop where you can just continually draft. Because eventually you're gonna have a bad game, right? And you're not gonna be able to continue. So we have one or two more games left. Next turn we set up for Impulse. If there's just an aggro deck, we might just lose with this hand. Angel Sleeves. I think that's Sigarda. They don't have any blue mana. Yeah, let's get the Goblin going. Guess they could be holding up like kill spells. Yeah, cut down. And their enforcement afterwards. That's mighty rude. Not ideal, but what we had. Like, we can Frost Rider next turn. And Frost Rider will tap something down. Like, they can kill it all they want. He's gonna slow him down. So they can pay 3 mana to deal 1 damage. Are they gonna double block? That's fine by me. Let's get rid of that defender. Like, Frost Rider is not the top end of our deck. And having him in the graveyard actually allows us to cast a bigger creature next turn, so... Guessing we're just supposed to play 2 drops this turn. I could actually use Lore Master to catch up on card advantage, but Lore Master's gonna die this turn anyways. We are in a tough spot. Like, we are, We are dangerously behind. Decline. I think we just hold up Battle Rage Blessing. They're gonna use some Aaron trickery, but we will just counter it with whatever. They might have their own Battle Rage Blessing. Would have been nicer if it wasn't each creature, but Aaron, you boy. Withering Necromance. Down to 2. No attacks. 2 life to 22. That is not where you want to be. If they have another removal spell, we're just dead. Minish will get the job done. The minimum requirement for surviving this turn was having 3 creatures, which we technically met. Barely met. Casting 2 creatures in 1 turn with 5 mana is not something that should be on the agenda. Decline? Here's a question. Do we want to go down to like 4? I mean 1. So we can Rager. But I think we just need to play another 5-power creature. The only thing keeping their board from staying over in that direction is they benefit off Lore Master. We should not have saved your life, Lore Master. Do they pay 5 mana for a Rager? Haven't you drawn enough cards? Decline. Still alive. Still alive. Like, our creatures are on average bigger than theirs. They might want to, like, Aaron at the end of my turn. Like, if they Aaron at the end of my turn, their team grows. Well, we're dead. We can no longer block everything. Let's see if they realize that. They probably do. Just swing out with everything and you win. There is no need to hesitate. Everything. Even Aaron. Like, they lose their board now. And deal no damage. This card has menace. Stuck all lands all game. Here's the question. Do I get to live again? Because I shouldn't. We should have died last turn. It should have been attack all victory. And they can do that again this turn. Like, if they attack with everything, I cannot block one of their creatures. They win. They just keep going. There you go. They got there in the end. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you next time. Bye for now.